Hello people and welcome to Inktober. I am ill. If you don't know what Inktober is, it is a challenge that a lot of artists do where you draw one ink drawing every single day in October. And so I've been challenging myself to do that this past week. Here are the drawings that I have done so far. Now, this first drawing is honestly kind of sad. I didn't follow the prompt for this, and I didn't really have time to work on it. This is what I drew. I actually just sketched it on the train, and then I inked it later. Here are some of the sketches from what I wanted to do for this prompt. My original idea was to do a witch, like, swiftly flying through the air. And I also thought about doing a bat. I just didn't have time to this day. Day 2 and the prompt was divided. All I could think about while drawing this was Ed Sheeran, but I got this idea to do these two people that were kind of chained to a wall and divided or separated. I think this was the first drawing where I tried to do cross-hatching for the shading. I need to work on my cross-hatching shading skills a little bit, but I think it's okay. For day 3, the prompt was poison, and I wasn't quite sure what to do with this one. My original idea was to kind of reenact a scene from Snow White with some other characters. Thought about doing some kind of poisonous animal, and I settled on the blue-ringed octopus because I knew that they were very deadly. The only thing I'm really not happy about with this one is how dark the rings are compared to the actual octopus. I didn't have any pens or anything that were the actual color of the rings, so I had to use one that was a lot darker, but I still think it turned out pretty well. This was also the first drawing I did with the bottled ink. Day 4, the prompt was underwater. This one was the one that was the most difficult to come up with an idea for. When I saw that the prompt was underwater, I was mad because I had just drawn an underwater creature the previous day. I started to draw a clownfish in like a realistic way that I did the octopus, but I just didn't want to because I had just done that. And I sketched out some ideas. One of them was this girl kind of looking into a fishbowl. Another one was like a little girl looking into a fishbowl. And then another one was like this girl looking into some water where there's this mermaid looking up at her. As you may be able to tell, I'm just getting over a sickness. And this day was the day that I was the most sick and I did not feel like drawing. So I ended up just not worrying about it and resting that day. The prompt for day 5 was long. And at first when I saw this, I was like, what the heck am I gonna do? But not long after, see what I did there? I got an idea to just do this girl that has long hair and is wearing a long dress. This one was probably the most fun to draw because I got to figure out how to draw the curls in her hair, and I was trying to figure out the physics in the dress and how it would flow. Overall, I think this is probably my favorite drawing from this week. For day 6, the prompt was sword, and I decided to draw a ninja kind of pulling out a sword from behind his back. Kind of looks like the sword is like stuck in his neck. I also did the outline of his nose on his mask, and if you look at it closely, it looks like a little smile. This one I also had a lot of fun drawing, and I really liked how it turned out. For day 7, the prompt was shy, and I decided to do Shy Guy from the video games. I know he's mainly in Mario, but I'm pretty sure he's in some other ones too, so. When I saw the prompt, his name was the first thing that popped into my head, but I was originally thinking he was a Pokemon, but I could not remember what a Pokemon named Shy Guy looked like, and so I looked him up, and I realized he was not a Pokemon. This drawing is definitely one I like a lot less than the others, but I think it's just because of the materials I used. I didn't have any red colored ink, and that is the main color of this character. So I tried just using a normal marker, and it kind of worked, but it was really hard to shade with. I couldn't layer on top of the marker with itself or with other ink because it would kind of just dissolve away, and it was kind of just a mess. One thing I did learn while coloring this was if you feel like you're better or just more comfortable with a paintbrush in your hand instead of a marker, you can take the marker and scribble. You can take the You can take the marker and scribble it on a glass jar like I did, or just on a piece of plastic, and then take some water on your paintbrush and just pick the marker up, and it works just like ink or paint. Now, I already said how much of a pain this was to shade, but oh man, it was difficult. Like I said, the marker and the ink just weren't mixing together very well, and this is why I think I like my other ones so much better. I just used the ink on those, and the ink by itself is really easy to shade with, but on some parts where it really wasn't blending, you may be able to kind of see that the paper was starting to come apart. And if I am honest, I started to give up towards the end of this because the expression on his face is how I was feeling while drawing this. Now, don't get me wrong, I don't hate the way this turned out. I just don't love it as much as my other ones. So that is it for this week of Inktober. I hope you guys are enjoying it so far, and I hope you stay with me for the rest of the month. So thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video, and yeah, if you want to watch my last video, it's right over here. And if you are interested in seeing what else I have for this month, then click here so that you can keep up with me during Inktober. I will see you in my next video. Thanks for watching. Bye.